my real estate warriors. Today we're going to talk about more staging tips and expectations. I had a few of you reach out to me saying, Audra, show us some before and after pictures. Tell us, what we could do to, make our house look the best and sell for the quickest amount of time. And I have done a video called Basic Staging Tips, which I will link down below. But this is a little bit different in the fact that I'm kind of going to take you through the process and then also kind of show some before and afters. And when I was looking at these before and after photos, I realized I forgot. I didn't tell you guys to do this in the last video I did on basic staging tips. So let's get into it. If you are staging your property yourself, you don't need to listen to this section. But if you are a seller and you are hiring someone to come in to stage your property, whether it be owner occupied, meaning you live there, or if it's vacant, you need to sign a contract. And in that contract, it usually specifies that you have 2 to 3 months of the staging that's on the property for 2 to 3 months. And then after 2 to 3 months, there is a rental fee. And every staging company is different. Out here, it's outrageous. But remember that is a staging fee. That is not a lease fee, meaning that you are leasing the furniture for the use. And the reason why I say that is because I've had some clients say, well, wait a second, I've had 3 months of this staging contract and the furniture. I want my use out of the furniture. No. The purpose of staging is to get your house sold for the top dollar in the quickest amount of time. So you're not going to call your staging company and say, hey, I got my house in escrow in a week and we're closing in 2 weeks. So do I get a prorated discount? And the answer is absolutely not. That's exactly what staging is supposed to do. It's supposed to be sold for top dollar in the quickest amount of time, and it's worth every penny. It's no big deal to the stager whether they set it up and take it down in 3 months or set it up and take it down in 2 weeks. It's the same amount of work for them for the most part. Okay, most staging companies have a clause in their contract that says, hey, when contingencies are all removed, you need to contact us so we can get our furnishings off the property. And the reason why they do that is a couple things. The shorter amount of time it's on your property, the less risk that there's going to be damage done to the furniture. And the second thing is they get busy, right? They need to work you in their schedule. So you don't want to call them a couple days before closing and say, hey, by the way, you need to get your staging off the property. I waited to the last minute to make sure it went through. No good, right? No good. So you need to contact your staging company as soon as you get all contingencies removed. And if you're working with me, of course, I handle all that for you. But yeah, the furniture is not there for your private enjoyment. It's props for you to sell at your house. Now, it is customary for a stager to require you to put 50% down towards the total staging cost. If you're working with me, I comp all this. But anyway, if you are working with the stager, you will put 50% down to secure a date on the calendar. And then once the project is completed, the 50% remaining balance is due. A lot of stagers don't talk about this, but it is something that should not be overlooked. And that is, who's going to be buying your property and what kind of style is going to appeal to them? So if you are in a youngerish neighborhood with a bunch of families, you're probably going to be doing more of a hip, cool vibe, right? And if you are in an elderly community or a property that has a main floor bedroom, you're probably going to do something a little bit more sophisticated and transitional. So a property I recently listed is a beautiful property. I just love this property so much. It has a lot of nice, cool finishes on it. It has bifold doors. It has hardwood floors. It has all the bells and whistles. And it has some updated lighting. And it has kind of an urban, cool vibe. So we worked with the seller's furniture. We moved a lot of the furnishings off the property into the garage. And we brought in our own furniture to help make it, we'll just say, appeal to the younger crowd, right? Ones that have families that are coming into the area. There are a lot of very nice private schools in the area that surrounded this home. So we're trying to grab those families that are on the younger side because that's what the demographic, pretty much revealed to us. So on this property, we made the yard look beautiful. We put mulch and we planted new roses. We cleaned everything up. And one of the things that I noticed that a lot of homeowners and even stagers make the mistake of doing is they move the furniture either too far apart where they have the furniture against the walls, or they move the furniture so close together that you can barely walk around it and it just feels a little congested. And the seating area, when you come into each one of the rooms, it's easy to move around. And the reason why you want to make it easy to move around is because it just opens up the room. Another helpful tip is that whenever you're using rugs, when in doubt, oversize, don't undersize. So you don't want to have a small 5x7 in a large room. It just makes the room look smaller. So it's important when you're staging is to give a purpose for each one of the rooms. So in the kitchen, for example, example, originally they used the kitchen area for seating as a piano or keyboard area for one of the kids. And so we took that out, we put a table in there, we used the dining room chairs, we put it around the kitchen table, and we put more, we'll just say, elevated chairs and large paintings in most of the rooms to help it give a more glam and a more luxurious feel. When you're looking at these pictures, notice how large the artwork is, okay? So in each one of the rooms, there's not a ton of artwork everywhere. We're looking at large scale artwork. It helps set a very grounded room, your eyes not going everywhere, and if you look closely, like you don't even know what you're looking at, so it's not distracting. It's usually abstract art, interesting colors. They're not too bright, but they're also not too dull. It just adds a mood and a feel when you're, viewing the room and as you're moving throughout the property. Okay, let's talk bedrooms. Okay, this is one of the easiest things to do as far as staging in any room, okay? You just stick a bed in there. When in doubt, go smaller. And you just put 2 nightstands on either side, 2 lamps, and then you put a picture over the bed if you need to, something interesting that blends in, and you're good, okay? We don't do different style nightstands, and we don't want the nightstands to be taller than the bed, okay? It's very basic. And then the other mistake that I see over and over and over again, it just drives me crazy, and I admittedly have made this mistake because I love pillows. I just love pillows, is they put way too many pillows on the bed, okay? Here's the rule of thumb. If you have a king size bed, buy the king size shams. You just need like one in the back, or a set in the back and a set in the front, and a small pillow. It's all you need. It's super clean, okay? Maybe 2 accent pillows, but we don't have 10. And if you have a queen bed, you put queen shams, okay? So we'll show you a few photos. Let's just tidies everything up. Put a accent throw on there. But if you look at these pictures, you'll notice that they're all complementary, meaning that they all have different textures, meaning the pillows and the linens, and it just has a really cool vibe. And of course, I'm a huge advocate of neutrals. Neutral, neutral, neutral. Now, if you own your home, I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm saying for staging purposes, I highly recommend it. You can probably see in the background here, sort of neutral. But if you saw the rest of my house, I'm not 100% neutral. I like to have a little color. I like to have my own personal vibe in my rooms. But when you're staging a property, you want to neutralize it as much as possible. But back to those bedrooms. We don't want to have 10 pillows on the bed. And if you have a king size bed, we don't have 3 queen size pillow shams and all that. And that was what I used to do. So stupid. It looks so much better now. So king size pillow shams on king size beds, and we don't put king size pillow shams on queen size beds. Just no. So look at a few of these pictures. These are all done, in my opinion, very tastefully. When the buyers and viewers come in to see these rooms, it's very easy. They can walk around very easily. It's we'll just say a peaceful vibe, and they're not being distracted by too much artwork or too many pillows or too much clutter. So if you've been watching my channel, I'm always going to recommend paint your walls white. I know, don't hate me. This is if you're selling your house. And I'm also going to say put, lighter flooring down. So if you have a dark floor, I'm going to recommend lighter carpets, right? Neutral carpets. We don't do anything too wild. Now, if you want to decorate your house and live in it, that's totally up to you. Like I said, if you saw my house, I'm not all neutral and all this, but if we're selling a house, of course, that's what we're going to do. So in this property, I saw it, I loved it immediately. I was so excited about the challenge. We painted everything Swiss coffee, and we changed out the carpets. That's all we did. And boy, does it look like a whole new house. We also took in consideration that the primary bedroom was on the main level, so more than likely somebody on the olderish side is going to purchase the home. So we did more of a transitional style. Everything flows seamlessly from one room to the other. And then we need to talk about virtual staging. So I've had some of my real estate warriors reach out to me and say, Audra, you spent all this time staging and prepping, just use virtual staging. It's so much better, and it's cheaper, and you don't have to go to all this hassle. You're wrong. But what is virtual staging? So virtual staging is where your photographer comes out to the property, they take photos of all your things in all the rooms. They go back to their computer, they edit all the furniture out of the photos, and they put fakey furniture in there. And so the house looks much different than its original state. So the problem with that is, number one, it's not cheap. Number two, it never looks real. So I look at these photos, I'm like, yeah, that's virtually staged, okay? And if you're a buyer and you start looking at these pictures closely, you're gonna know it's virtually staged. Then you kind of ask the question, why did they virtually stage it? Is it super ugly? Like, why didn't they just stage it? Oh, maybe they don't have enough money, or what are they trying to hide? And the bottom line is the buyers will get to the property and maybe they didn't catch that it was virtually staged, and they get to the property, they feel duped, right? Like, where's this beautiful property that I saw online, okay? I'm not a big proponent of virtual staging for the entire house. Now, if you are staging your house, the rooms that I absolutely have staged, kitchen, family room, the primary bedroom, and if there's a loft or a bonus room, I recommend staging that as well. The secondary bedrooms, who cares? Some of the bathroom, who cares? A laundry room, who cares? But the main living spaces should be staged. For example, this property, I'll show you a virtually staged photo. I love this house, like I said. There's a big bonus room upstairs. Some people want to turn it into a bedroom, some want to make it an office. And so what I did is I said, well, I think it would be a really cool pool table room. So I wanted to show how big the room is, so I virtually staged a pool table. So I'll show you the before and the after, okay? The bedrooms are also virtually staged. I did not stage these 2 bedrooms, okay? They're virtually staged. And so the reason why I do that is when someone comes to the property, they're not let down. They enter the main level, everything looks beautiful, and when you go upstairs, everyone knows what secondary bedrooms are and, you know, what a big bonus room should look like. But remember, the hardest thing that we do as listing agents is trying to get buyers to come to our properties, okay? It's a whole different world. We spend a ton of money and a lot of marketing up front. That's the new way we do business, because buyers are not gonna get off their duff to come to the open house unless they fall in love or see the value online. You really have to understand the significance of that. So virtual staging does help with just trying to explain to the buyer or the viewer what each room is going to be used for, but I would not do the whole house in virtual staging, or I would avoid it if possible. It looks cheap to me when you're looking at it online. Okay, the other tip I want to give you when staging, and I forgot to put this in the basic staging tips, is remove the bathroom mats or any mats near water sources, like in the kitchen or in the bathroom. Like, they're gross. Just trust me. I'm sure they're full of bacteria. I hate to say this, but I hate those things. And then if you have visitors, like, what, they're gonna walk on the mats? Like, ew, like, we just get the mats out. So if you wanna live with mats, that's cool. I have beautiful rugs in my bathroom that are hand knotted. I highly recommend if you are living in your own home and you wanna just do some upgrades to your bathroom, a hand knotted wool knot in the bathroom is lovely. And you get it cleaned on a regular basis. It's not gross, but the little rugs around the toilet, the fuzzy ones you get at, whatever, Walmart, Home Depot, Home Goods, like, we want nothing to do with that. I understand the purpose, but when we're selling the house, we don't have those little rugs in the bathrooms and in the kitchens, the laundry areas. Like, just get rid of them. We're trying to sell the uniformity of your home. And when we have those things out, it makes the house look small. And then when people are walking, it gets distracting, okay? So remove those. You will notice in all these staging photos that I have fake plants throughout the entire property. Most of the homes that I'm showing you right now are vacant, and the homeowners just can't attend to real plants. Now, I'm a real love for real plants. I have them throughout my whole house. It makes me feel good. I have a good vibe. But when I go look at these pictures and I visit and show these homes that I'm staged, the fake ones do just good a job, right? Now, we all know they're fake, but when we're walking around the house and getting a vibe for the property, it does help to have that special aesthetic and make you feel, I don't know, just grounded, right? It does help with the overall aesthetic in the rooms and throughout the entire house. An area that I think is really overlooked in a lot of homes that I see staged is that they don't pay attention to the backyard. Now, where I live, it's California, so we spend most of our time outside. Now, I don't, some of you live in different areas where it's, we'll just say the weather is very temperamental, so I can't speak to your weather cycles. But in my area, like, we want to spend a lot of time putting wonderful, nice seating areas out in the backyard. We want to enjoy our natural surroundings. So go to that extra level, go to that extra effort, spend that money and put some patio furniture out there. And if you are using a stager, they will charge you a fortune for patio furniture. It's super annoying. And the reason why is because the patio furniture is out in the weather. It doesn't last as long. So it might be one of those investments you want to make. You know, go to, Home Depot. It doesn't have to be fancy, but when someone comes out to the property and views your home, you want them to have that experience of enjoying the outdoors. Now, when you're staging your house, take down ugly draperies. It dates the house. It's better to have nothing than old dated blinds or drapes. In fact, I don't hate me, but I'm not a big shutter fan. I know everybody spends a lot of money on those, but the problem with those shutters is even when they're open, they're still distracting the view and they're not letting a lot of light in. So if you have some older shutters that are looking tired, I say just rip them out. I'd rather see a complete blank window than some dated drapes and icky blinds that are stuck, the louvaliers, shutters that are all dirty and the little upper downer things are broken. Get rid of them. You can always tell someone has gone to a lot of trouble to prepare their house when the towels are folded properly. So when a buyer comes and opens up the cabinet and all the towels are folded properly, they're hanging properly on the shower racks, it just makes the whole house elevate. I would just, go YouTube how to fold towels. Any way's fine. They all have different, ways to fold a towel, but the standard flip-flop, fish wrap, throw on the rack is not good. So do that too. For those of you who have not met me before, my name is Audra Lambert, and I'm one of the top-selling agents in Orange County, California. And the purpose of this video is just to help my own clients and my followers to help get their house prepared and put on the market. I will put in a link down in the description box of a checklist that I've created, whether you're just doing your own staging or if you're preparing your own home for the staging event. I think you'll really get a lot of benefit out of it. Hope you got value out of this video, and if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button and subscribing to my channel, I would forever be grateful. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.